Hello, Plano ISD families. I'm Lisa Wilson, Deputy Superintendent for Teaching, Learning, and Life Readiness. Results from the Spring 2023 Texas Assessments of Academic Readiness, or STAAR, are available as of August 16th from the Texas Education Agency in the Plano ISD Parent Portal. STAAR scores were released at a later date this year due to numerous changes in the state's assessment program. I want to remind you of two important things about the STAAR redesign from this past school year. First, in response to House Bill 3906, passed in 2019, STAAR tests were completely redesigned for the Spring 2023 administration in an attempt to provide fewer multiple choice items and add technology-enhanced items that hopefully resemble the tasks students experience in their classrooms on a regular basis. Keep in mind that all STAAR tests are now administered 100% in an online format based on requirements of House Bill 3261, which was passed in 2021. These changes have resulted in a very different experience for our students, and this is important information to consider when reviewing your child's STAAR scores. Our students don't complete all of their learning tasks or even their classroom assessments on a computer on a daily basis, but they were asked to demonstrate their knowledge of the state standards via computer. On the STAAR exams this spring, students experienced new item types, including interactive drag and drop, constructed response, and multi-select questions, asking them to select all answers that are correct instead of what they've experienced in the past of selecting the one right answer. This new format could result in either higher or lower scores than usual for your child. While the state reassures educators and parents that the test is equivalent in rigor to the previous test formats, we know that any time a student faces a new experience, it can prove more challenging. And as with any test administration, it's important to balance your child's STAAR scores with data from additional assessments to form any conclusions about your child's overall performance and growth. Second, the overall approach and design of the STAAR tests have changed. In addition to the new item types, students were given cross-curricular passages, requiring them to use knowledge of one subject to demonstrate skill in another. They experienced multi-part questions that reflected multiple stages of thinking, compared to past experiences where they were faced with single-part questions. They were required to graph answers and construct writing passages in response to evidence-based prompts. Even our third-grade students, who are just learning to type, were required to compose these answers in a testing environment. The new format also provided all necessary accommodations delivered through this online test. These accommodations included things like text-to-speech, language supports, and calculator supports, all provided electronically. Needless to say, our students experienced very different STAAR tests than in the past. With the numerous changes to the STAAR test, TEA will have to establish a new baseline of performance. Due to the changes, comparing last year's scores to this year's scores will be an imperfect science. Regardless of the outcome, it's still important to use this year's scores simply as one piece of information in a larger landscape about your child's performance and growth. In addition to the STAAR tests, Plano ISD uses a variety of measures to monitor our students' performance and growth during the school year. These measures include the Measures of Academic Progress, or MAP, that are administered 3 times a year, the M-Class Literacy Suite of assessments for our early readers, district-level common assessments and semester exams, and other nationally normed tests, including COGAT, PSAT and SAT, ACT, and AP exams. Most importantly, consider the classroom assessments and feedback provided by your child's highly qualified teachers. Each of these data points will add more to the picture when reviewing your child's academic progress. It is worth noting that the STAAR redesign is only one of the changes we will see from TEA this year. The agency has been working to refresh the accountability system to 1, ensure continuous improvement of student performance, 2, eliminate achievement gaps based on race, ethnicity, and socioeconomic status, and 3, ensure that Texas is a national leader in preparing students for post-secondary success. In Plano ISD, we embrace the goals of the state's accountability system and could not agree more that growth for our students, closing achievement gaps, and preparing students for their future are top priorities for us. We pride ourselves in living our vision every day, which means being committed to excellence, dedicated to caring, and powered by learning. However, the changes made to the accountability system were made on the heels of our return to normal post-pandemic interruptions, and at the same time, the STAAR test received a complete overhaul. The agency will adjust the cut scores as they see fit based on the new assessments, and they've drastically altered both the measure for success and the criteria for meeting the College, Career, and Military Readiness Outcomes, or CCMR, for our graduates. Perhaps most disheartening for educators is the fact that the new CCMR criteria will retroactively apply to students who've already graduated, leaving us with no opportunity to improve for this year. All of this will impact accountability ratings throughout the state. Some headlines have stated that Texas schools are bracing for the impact of changes. Commissioner Morath has clearly articulated that due to the changes, there could be schools and districts who actually improve performance, but will receive a lower rating. While we hope this is not the case in Plano ISD, we recognize that this is a very real possibility. I want to encourage you that regardless of any changes from TEA that come our way, Plano ISD remains committed to improving the performance and growth of every individual child. We are Plano ISD proud of our students and staff and the incredible things they have accomplished, and we know you are as well. We have a new website to help our community understand the changes I've outlined and how they may impact Plano ISD. We titled this website More Than a Score because we want to stay focused on all of the great work done for our students and by our students in Plano ISD as part of their educational journey. We value all the facets of a quality education beyond just test scores. In fact, the website includes videos of some of our students explaining how they are more than a score. We will continue to update the website as we receive additional information and ultimately our new accountability ratings. TEA expects to provide these at the end of September. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me to learn a little about the STAAR and the accountability changes. Beginning August 16th, you can easily access your child's scores through the Plano ISD Parent Portal. After navigating to the Parent Portal, you will select Performance Management, and then you will find a link next to your child's name that says STAAR Results. Alternatively, you can go directly to the Texas Assessment Data Portal at texasassessment.gov and enter the information as prompted, including your child's date of birth, along with a unique access code, which is also available in the PISD Parent Portal under Performance Management. If you have any trouble accessing your child's scores, please contact your child's teacher or principal. I hope all of our students and families have an amazing school year.